So can you hear me now, all of you? Am I audible? Is it audible now? I think there is some audio issue. Can you hear me, guys, clearly? Just let me know if you can hear me. We'll get started once I get a confirmation from your side. Put in a message if you can, you can chat with me live, and you can let me know if you can hear me now. Yeah, now that's good. So now it's good. Chalo, that's nice. So guys, this is a planning and strategy video, especially for people who are preparing with a complete focus towards December FMGE exam. And this is mainly for the fresh graduates who are going to target the exam freshly. I'll make a separate video in future for people who are attempting it for the next time, or people who have restarted their preparation after a gap. But now this video is completely towards the fresh students who are just recently graduated and going to attempt their December 21 exam. And this is a live chat. I can look into your comments. The whole sequence. First I'll tell you the planning and the strategy that you have to follow. Then I'll explain you the program at Arise also, that what we do, and then I'll take up all your Q&As towards the end of the discussion. So we'll keep it very crisp and also very high yield towards your so that I can interact with you more and understand your queries more. So let's get started. So now it's it's important to plan. So if you fail to plan, right, you plan to fail. So it's very important that before you start your preparation, you have a right mindset, you have a positive frame of mind, you have a clear-cut idea that how you're gonna plan this and execute this thing. So having that clarity is important. And having trained students over the years now, both in their universities abroad and having them at our places, at our centers in India, we have seen how students actually go through this process. And I hope our advice will be useful for your preparation and planning your preparation strategy. So now, so you can put in your ideas, your thoughts towards the end once I explain you the entire process that we go through. So to begin with, so it's important that you sit down and take this exam very seriously. So cannot go on with it very casually. So it is important to understand the task ahead. What is the task that you have ahead? So from a distance, this mountain will look small to you. You will feel that, okay, there are 6 months ahead, 𝗬𝗃 की बात हो रही है, so we have a lot of time and all. But as you come closer, you will see that the mountain is big enough. So unless you plan early, so very, very important is start early. Start early. If you really want to break this down and do it in a more smooth fashion, it is important that you start early. And your target is the December FMGE exam, right? So December FMGE exam. And to achieve this target, to overcome this task, it is important that you remain disciplined in this process, consistent in this process. So there will be a lot of ups and downs that will coming out, a lot of stress, 19 subjects, exam stress will be there on your head. So, okay, there will be a lot of, you'll be not working, you'll not be, relaxed. There'll be consistent, exam stress that will be going on subject after subject, right from anatomy till radiology, major subjects, short subjects. So it's very, very important that you have a positive frame of mind throughout your preparation. Never get into, negative pressures. Have a positive frame of mind. Things will work well only if you have a hope, right? So that you will pass this exam. You'll be able to give your best. So positive frame of mind is important through this. And out of all of this, it is one most important thing that I want you to remember in the beginning is before you start your preparation, it is important to sacrifice few things. So you have to sacrifice few things to take up this intense task of preparation of your 19 subjects in 6 months. So please understand, 19 subjects we have, and 6 months. We don't actually have 6 months. If you look at your preparation strategy, I'll explain about that. But even if you consider 6 months time, it is too less of a time to be casual or to be lazy. So you have to sacrifice some comforts, you have to sacrifice some sleep, you have to sacrifice some emotions also. Very important that you don't carry on a lot of negativity with you, lot of heartbreaks, lot of financial, psychological, emotional things. You should become emotionless, bland, emotionally flat. You are going on a mission, you have to have that sharp focus towards your mission. So I hope you understand that you be completely focused in your preparation, and with a very, very positive frame of mind, guys. No time for laziness, no time to be weak. It is time to get onto your to pull up your socks, go for the mission now. And you need to fight your emotions out. Please remember, at the same time, I don't want you to be fearful also. A lot of students, I feel, they don't start because of the fear of it, because of the anxiety of starting the preparation, facing this exam. They want to look for easy ways out, want to escape this pressure. Please be fearless. Please remember why you're doing this. You're doing this to achieve your dreams, your parents' dreams, your family's dreams of seeing you as a doctor. So you started this journey after 12th, right? So your parents saw this dream, your family saw this dream, you saw this dream, and went through this whole process of 6 years there in different countries, overcoming such harsh situations, right? Cold, food, language, every barrier you crossed, so that you come down and have the title of a doctor in front of you. And this is the time to be extremely close to your dreams, extremely rigid on achieving this, right? This change is going to be a huge change. Since you come after graduating, so this change is going to be a drastically important change. And once you clear the exam, you become a doctor, you achieve this, your family's dream, you start to earn something, right? You have a license with you, you start working, you start to be able to provide to people, to take care of people. Remember, all of you, you're doing this to feel actually importance also. You feel important in your society, in your families, in your relatives, right? So this is something also a good motivation to have. You start becoming remembered for who you are, and this fight is important. And during this fight, it is important to remain fearless, be strong, right? Don't get worried, anxious, nervous, right? So be yourself, be calm, do this with a smiling face, right? You can still go through this process in a very, very smiling and happy approach. So I hope you stay very, very strong throughout this. And this is how I see freshers coming into all these classes and stuff. When they begin their classes, this is how they are: fresh, okay, bubbly, cheerful, and nice. And happy to see many of this. And then you'll realize it once you are going into your classes also, when you see your seniors, your juniors, classmates, right? So when you see all of them in the beginning phase, right, so they'll be all this bubbly and cheerful. But as they start going to the preparation from this stage to this stage, and last month before exam, right, so just 1 month before exam, this is the state of affairs that will be there. And if you really don't want to get into that kind of stress, it is important that you plan early. Okay, so you start early, you know that thing, that how you have to execute this. You plan, you go according to your plan, revisit your plans, whether they are following the right track or like right direction, track your preparation, and see that you don't get too nervous, too worried close to your exam. So you will see these changes happening in a lot of your classmates and stuff close to your, in November, you will remember me when you see your classmates and stuff, because of the exam pressure. So it is an intense preparation phase, and I want you to accept this and go through this with a smile, with a very positive frame of mind. And very important to shed off these baggages, these emotional baggages of getting having some anger that I didn't want to do this, I am forced to do this, blame game, right? And my teachers were not good there, my classmate training was not well, regret that I should have studied before, I didn't study from first year. Leave all of that, start fresh, right? And never try to be too perfect also. I will study from Grey's Anatomy, I will start my preparation. Okay, my parents said you can have time, I will start my preparation from Grey's Anatomy. Nothing is, you don't have to do like that. You have to shed off all of these baggages, and then only you will be able to run, you will be able to achieve your goals. So it's very, very important that you remove all your emotional baggages, emotional, psychological, financial, right? Let it be, have some financial stress. Okay, it's okay to be broke at this time, but throw all of these baggages. You are going on a mission. Stay committed to the cause. Stay, become emotionally bland. Nothing should affect you. No happiness, no sadness, completely bland, on focused onto your mission. And I hope you'll be able to carry that much more easily. If you don't have these emotional baggages, the exam pressure will be much better to handle. But if you get affected by what people say, what happens in your in your family, relatives, some friend is saying something, some friend has studied well before, he is answering well in the class, if you carry all of these things around you, you will not be able to perform to the best of your ability. So I want you to remove all these emotional baggages and focus onto your goal and onto your missions. And now comes, sir, fine, we understand the seriousness of this exam. Now, how do you go about this? There are two options. Both are equally good, equally effective: online classes or offline classes, right? You have today's world, okay? You cannot have a choice, okay, that, okay, no, online is not good, offline only is good, or offline is good, online is good. Both are equal and both will coexist and both will, supplement each other. So you have to decide what works well for you. In an online class, you have to be very self-motivated. So here it is very important, because we don't know whether you are sleeping in the bed and you're studying on the table or sleeping in the bed. You have to be strongly self-motivated so that you study on the study table, not on the bed. You are studying on the bed, that means you are not suitable for online preparation. You have to come to an offline center. You have to be extremely important that you make a study space where you have your table, your chair there, you are religiously following that schedule, right? Be very motivated, self-disciplined, and follow a rigid schedule, guys, okay? And very important that when you're using online resources and all, you use a particular laptop or application or a mobile phone which does not have other notifications coming onto it, or mute all the notifications of all your Instagram, Snapchats, or uninstall only. You don't need, in this 6 months of battle, when you are having to make license of your degree, make your degree worth of it, if you're carrying all the social media with you, it is that means you're not serious about this. It's as simple as that. If you are not serious, you will have all of the things with you. And sir, some students come and say, sir, lot of information I get on social media, I learn, the MCQ discussion is happening. No topper ever, or nobody who has passed the exam has ever passed by doing MCQs on WhatsApp, by doing this fake polls and stuff. So be clear on your agenda. This is an intense phase. You cannot go casually on this. 6 months doesn't matter. All your friends can wait, all your relatives can wait, all your functions, family can wait. It is first you need to recognize yourself. It is your very utmost battle for you and for your family. So I feel it is important that you uninstall all other applications except the exam ones, mute all the notifications of all other apps. Just keep for your own only the ones where you get PDFs of the exams, or the institute that you have joined, or the online course that you have joined. Only their PDFs, their class timings, their schedule only should be there. And you try to be as away from the social media space, at least for the 6 months time. Throw your phones as far as possible. That is the first and important advice. Keep your phones away from your study space. And in online, you have to be careful that when you're using it, all the other things, keep a separate phone for your studies, okay? So that is an ideal thing. If you can have a separate phone, that is the best thing. Keep your phone very minimal use, very minimal use, or have a time slot that only during this time I'm going to watch, I'm going to be on my personal mobile, personal space and personal stuff. If you're really so addicted and cannot let go, or you're so important to have all the connections done, at least have a time slot, just a half an hour, not more than half an hour at this point of time. And this 6 months time, and time is such a big issue, you should not have all that things carried through it. After 6 months, do a complete thing, do strategies, do get into social media, be visible, but not this 6 months. And offline, yes, they have their own advantages. Your teacher is with you, your faculty members are with you, you are away from your so obviously your mobile, and you cannot use it as frequently. You are not sitting on the bed or not sleeping on the bed and listening to classes. You're motivated with the teacher to complete it, and the long schedule of classes also, right? It's a time bound thing. It's a very time bound thing. So you will actually finish the course with the faculty within the limited time of frame that we have. And there is an unnecessary I feel it is not a real worry that what will happen in online. These teachers are there, offline other teachers will be there. Please understand, we are not into IIT, or we are not into some NEET UG or JEE preparation. This is medical preparation, and only very few elite medical faculties are available who actually teach you both offline at different institutes by different names and stuff, and also on online. Actually, these are people who have, established their name in offline and then gone into online. So having that pressure that somebody else is going to come and teach in the offline, somebody else is going to come and teach on the online is an imaginary pressure. The same set of faculties are there who actually teach you, and all good institutes will not try to, have some random people coming and teaching. So most of the institutes, unless some, very really shady institutes, but most institutes, I feel the content wise, you can be assured it is more important how it is delivered, how the discipline is there, how the ecosystem is there, how comfortable you are in that space. And all of you can supplement yourself with additional online resources and stuff. But having that online offline presence with the teachers is also useful for some people, especially when you're not dedicated, or you're not finding that motivation, or you're not very disciplined at home, seeing your families and stuff. You can always choose that. Both have equal advantages, and need not worry. The faculty team of medical training is a very, very limited faculty group who actually cover both the spaces, both offline and online. We have a lot of faculties, right, who are also seen on the online platforms and who come down and take actually the entire program, right from the first subject to the last subject. Everybody is visible, and those same people actually train you there. So you can choose according to your comfort levels. And having an ecosystem, having a strong team, because this is a qualifying exam, guys. End of the day, this is not a competitive exam. You can all be supportive to each other, motivate each other, have a right of people when in your group who are studying with you, who are focused with you, right, in your libraries, in your study time. It's a good, I have seen people passing out in groups and failing in groups. The group you are in will decide what kind of course or trajectory that you will follow. So very important that you choose a right group of people, stay focused with your preparation, avoid unnecessary discussions, avoid any kind of negativity around. It is not about getting 250 right or 200 right. Okay, if all of you can get 150, that is well and good. So let somebody get 250. If he's answering well, doesn't matter. Be happy with him, take him along, learn from him. You teach some things. Keep a very, very vibrant group among yourself, and only a limited and academic group that will help you focus. Okay, especially when you're in your libraries, when you're in your close group, you can actually use that thing for your advantage. Now coming to the timeline. So I hope all of you can hear me properly, right? So let me just explain you the timeline that we are in. So it's important first understanding that we are not having a lot of time now. If we are in mid-July, you are starting the course. Most of you are still traveling. I came to know that many of the students were messaging, sir, we will be coming around mid-July. So we have planned somewhere on July 15th, we'll start the course. And online course, we are starting from 5th of July. But, I expect most of you to be settled down, traveling, ready with your, preparation courses from mid-July. And the exam probably would be in the first or second week of December. So I'm thinking it's somewhere in mid-December, or in the first week or second week of December, you'll have the exam. So in this time frame, your last month, you want to keep for revisions and grand test. You cannot keep on studying, listening to classes or attending classes at close to December. So maximum I feel is from mid-July till mid-November is your time where you actually try to learn concepts, develop your concept building. And last 1 month of, from mid-November to mid-December, you are going to go for intense revision, which will purely be revision, no classes, nothing. Okay, or if at all classes are there, they are purely revision classes, test and discussion classes, grand test, right? So grand test and discussions. So you don't go for any other thing in the last month. So basically our preparation time is basically mid-July to November. So July, August, September, October, so November. So July 15th we are starting. So we have basically 4 months. So basically, please understand, we have 4 months and we got to do 19 subjects. And this is where students actually fail to understand this. You are different from your NEET PG students, NEET PG preparation. They get 1 full year to prepare. You get 4 months to prepare. So don't run behind, extra knowledge, extra stuff, okay, I'll study this rare topic, I'll study from there, I'll study from this. Get your exam done, sit and prepare for NEET PG thoroughly. But first now, focus should be on finishing the FMGE exam. So don't go behind running, a lot of rare things, lot of, details and stuff. It is not required. It is easy to clear the exam if you are, really strategizing it, not doing mistakes in your preparation. I think it is pretty much a doable thing. So 4 months, 19 subjects. So if I look into the number of days, we have 120 days, right? So 4 months is around 120 days. and 19 subjects. So I feel around each subject you'll get around 6 to 7 days, somewhere in between 6 to 7 days per subject, right? Per subject. So even if you start full-fledged, so you cannot have this timeline lost. You can make small changes. Maybe you want to give 10 days for a major subject and maybe 3 days for a short subject. That is all okay, but you cannot miss out on this time frame. So understanding your timeline is important, that you cannot go beyond any particular subject beyond a particular timeline. So you cannot do medicine for 1 month, you cannot do surgery for 1 month and expect to have a good exam. You have to finish in the timeline. That dedication is important, that clarity is important to go ahead with. And this should be followed with repeated spaced repetition. So please remember, whenever you're studying first time, whenever you're studying for the first time, do it once, do it well. Do it once, do it best. So do it in detail, do it in complete, with full heart. Try to understand the subject, try to, understand the concepts that the faculties are teaching you, make down your handwritten notes, write all the MCQs that you solve, try to put it back into your notes, try to have some extra pages at the end where you add all the new information that you collect by doing MCQs from various resources and stuff, and see that you have one final notes. This is the one that will decide whether you will clear the exam or not, how the notes you have formed, what quality of your notes are there, and how good you are at the revising the notes. So first, your notes should be from the faculty classes. Then you do your MCQs from different resources. Anything you feel is good, something you have missed out in the class, you add into your notes. And once you are done that, you keep revising your notes repeatedly. Spaced repeated revisions, spaced repeated revisions. So you do the course completely one time, have a subject-wise exam done, then spaced repetitions. This will help you recollect the topics much easier in your day of exam. So this is very, very important to have understanding of the timeline. So 6 to 7 days per subject. By November, you are finishing all 19 subjects. Entire November for revisions and test and discussions and grand test. And each time you will have, when you are finishing one subject, you should have time for subject-wise exam. So when you're doing that also, when you're doing your classes also, please remember, when you're doing your schedule or when you're planning your classes also, see that after you finish your after you finish your class, you spend at least 70% of the time on concept building, revising your notes, right? Learning the theory, and attend your classes with lot of attention. If you want to buy time, if you want to save time, right? So how you spend your time during the classes is important. When you're attending the classes, you're attending for long time, 6 hours, 8 class, whether you're watching online, whether you're watching offline, right? It will not work with 1 or 2 hours classes, right? So you have to, because four months, you have to finish 19 subjects. So you have to get adapted to, listening to long hours in the classroom, writing with the faculties, or, in the online material also. Go for long, lengthy classes and finish off the syllabus at one go. And 70% of the time you should go on concept building, and 30% you will do for your MCQ time. So this concept building and should include your classroom where you're attentive, as well as your self-study. And do make time for your MCQ exam. Lot of the time, the questions are very, very predictable. So many of the questions are pretty much doable, pretty much asked before and stuff. Epidural hematoma will come. Pneumothorax will come. So you cannot miss out on such standard questions, such standard images and all. So MCQ practice will always help. And having a good concept building will help you solve integrated questions, the new pattern questions that come out. So at that balance, especially when you're a fresher, your concepts should be strong to understand the MCQs, to understand the depth. Otherwise, you will have a very factual memory. So it's important that you do this concept building and then go for a MCQ practice. And if you divide your time, imagine 24 hours time if you're dividing. If you're 24 hours, if you divide, you will have maybe about 14 hours where you can go for your study time. Right? If you can have all the time for study, listening to classes will take around 6 to 8 hours depending on which classes and how much you're doing. But please, that much is needed. If you're really serious about that, 6 to 8 hours of classes per day is something that you will have to, bear through. Then maybe about 8 hours of sleep, 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours of sleep is important. Don't spoil your sleep cycle. That will help you maintain throughout the 6 months course, maintain your health, maintain your, thought process in the right way. Don't have, if you're a person who sleeps a little more, If you're a person who stays up in the night and sleeps in the morning, it's okay. If you're sleeping at 1 o'clock, don't expect to wake up at 4 o'clock and start studying. It's fine if you can stretch it at 8 o'clock or stuff. But if you're sleeping earlier, see that you wake up early and have a proper sleep cycle, at least 6 to 8 hours. I mean, don't go minimum than that. Don't go less than 6 hours. It will disturb you. It will disturb your health. It will disturb the way you think. It will disturb the way you execute things. So it's important that at least 6 to 8 hours you are there. And about 2 hours you can put for all your daily activities, so all your stuff that you do for your daily activities, food and buying some groceries and all that stuff. So if you balance out, so around 10 hours here, 14 hours here, so that will be your 24 hours for the next 6 months. This is the schedule that you're going to follow, and see, you try to touch closer to that. It is very, we are all human beings, not always possible. Some days will be really good, some days you may not be able to do that, but still okay. Don't let a small phase in the day spoil your entire day. Just stay committed to the cause and you'll keep willing. Sometimes you'll be able to achieve that well. Sometimes you may fall short of few hours. It's okay. Don't be rigid. Be kind to yourself. Be positive about it. Have a positive pressure only. No negative thinking. All of you are going to pass. Keep that thought process and keep moving ahead. Okay. And even the results also, it does not matter. If you don't do well in 1 or 2 days, it doesn't matter. But overall, your average should be good. Your average time that you spend. Some days will be really good. Some days will be really bad. But your average line should be above the baseline that you need it optimum to clear the exam. So don't see that we all will have. You're all humans, have bad days in between. But that bad phase should be smaller. That bad time should be smaller, where you're not studying or where you're distracted, and your productive time should be more. And when you see, average should be okay, good. So it don't have to be really worried and upset about some small patches in between where you're not done well, where you're not well for the preparation, or you're not doing good at that time. It's okay. We are all human beings. We go through that phases, but see that the average is, on the optimum. Then now let me explain you what we do at 𝗲𝗏 and stuff. There are different batches. We have a regular online batch, again an intense preparation, right? These are all, and you should talk to your seniors who have attended the classes, right, before you take any suggestions and stuff of different places also, and before have a clear idea how it happens, what it does, what are the teachers who come down, right? So look at the notes that they are provided and stuff, and then you have a informed decisions onto that. So there is an online batch, the regular batch that we do, an offline batch where people actually come down, the faculties are traveling. We are going to do both the batches full-fledged till the December exam. There is online foundation batches, right, and offline vacation batches for students who are free and who wants to attend just the offline classes in the vacation. Like people used to come down for 1 month, 2 months. You will always have those vacation batches where you can come down. And you're looking at the vaccination, speed of vaccinations that are happening. Many of the students are actually getting vaccinated also. We are expecting that, things will get much, much better. And we are planning a full-fledged offline course also from July onwards. Online will also be there. Online foundation is actually running. Online regular batches are also running. You can, choose according to you. Clinical practice and observership, this is only for, exam going, not for exam going students. This is for any, third year students, second year students who want to come and get hands-on experience with the hospitals that were linked in. That can also be provided, but I would suggest post-COVID will do those things. Right now, more of exam going batches. So these are the regular exam dates for offline batches, 15th July, right, 17th July and 24th July. Online batches from 5th July will be starting. So try to see that, you start off your preparation. Don't delay. It's a time-bound thing. You delay 6 days, you miss one subject. You will have to use that in your revision time. What exactly happens is, if you're joining somewhere here, right, you lose these subjects, and these subjects you will be covering towards November, and that will eat up your revision time. So start early, as early as possible. So whenever you are planning to start off your course, starting early will always give you that advantage. This time you can actually, use towards revision towards the end of that, rather than listening. It will be redone. Even if you join in 24th, the subjects that were done before will be repeated for you. You will cover all the 19 subjects. But the earlier you join, the more time you'll get for revisions. So you have to, plan that out according to what you need and how you want to execute this. So what is the plan? Basically, the classroom faculty-based live classroom classes or online classes, they remain the same. You'll have the similar schedule for both online and offline. So here you will have completion of the subject in detail, 4 or 5 days according to the subject duration. The subject will be completed in detail after 6 to 8 hour classes by the faculties. Then they are followed by a 1 day off, where you get a preparatory off to study the entire thing that you have learned over the 4 to 5 days. Then they'll be having a subject-wise test. For example, you have started with suppose you have done pathology. You have done pathology for 5 days. Then you're given a break in between. then you revise for in that break, and then attend the exam next day. So it is followed by a subject-wise test. This is a training program that happens. Then you'll have monthly grand test. In a month, if you have covered about 4 to 5 subjects, towards the end of the month, you'll be made to, go through a grand test just to allow for a spaced repetition that you have. And then you have all the 19 subjects that will be covered. By our target is to finish by around first week of November, or max to max, okay, it should extend, and we should be able to complete all the 19 subjects by second week of November. After this is done, that means all 19 subjects, full detailed faculty training is done. You have written subject-wise exam. After that, you are doing subject-wise. After the subject-wise exam, next subject will start. Then again, the same thing with the subject-wise exam. So you are till mid-November, we are completing all the 19. After that, we are going for, in November, we are going for 19 subjects, test and discussions. So you are not attending classes, you are revising in November and only coming for about 3 hours time, where you write the exam, 100 questions of each subject, and the faculty discussion happens. And then you have some grand test in between to keep you, have a orientation towards your exam. The grand test will slightly be on the difficult line, but to allow you to think, to allow you to extrapolate the information that you have learned from all these, classes, all these tests, the grand test will be slightly on the difficult level, but use it as a learning tool. All these tests that you do, the subject-wise test, the test and discussions, the grand test, I've seen many students getting, really depressed after the results and stuff. It doesn't work like that. You have to think more smartly. This is not judging yourself. This is to learn. Okay, use it as a learning tool, not a judging tool. Don't judge yourself. Judging will happen on the day of exam. So use everything that happens during this process as a learning tool. You learn something new, adapt it, absorb it, okay, so that you have lesser mistakes to do towards your end. And then towards December, when you are having the first week or second week of December, when you are having an exam, the faculty will come and will do a fast track review where they complete all the high yield areas within a short duration of 3 to 4 hours, and that will be the whole thing. So basically the regular schedule is 3 parts. You have your 19 subjects covered in detail, then you have your test and discussion, then you have your fast track revision. So this actually forms the course, the complete course. And all of this is faculty driven. The faculty and the organization will actually help you complete the syllabus on time. And that is a benefit of, having a supervised thing. So for example, if you look, we'll be giving you a 1 month schedule in advance. You'll have a 1 month schedule in advance, which day, what class happens, when is the exam and stuff. So for example, in July, you're coming, 15th, I told you, is the class starting. You will have my classes. Then opthal classes will start from 17th. Then there'll be an off, then be an exam. Then the next subject starts. So the subject-wise exam, and then the next subject starts. So like this, a month schedule will be given in advance, and you should tune in your preparation according to your schedule that is going on. So when opthal is going on, you should not be studying something else on your own, because neither you will complete this well, neither you will complete your subject well. So you try to sync your schedules with the schedule of the institute, which will always be provided 1 month in advance, so that you can plan what all subjects I have, how do I plan my day, how do I, complete my topics. It won't be random, like it won't be half subjects at once. You will be given one subject and we'll do one subject completely before we move to the next subject. So it will not be like patchy work. You will have a completion of a subject. You will feel confident that you have completed that subject, and then we'll move to the next topic. And during this time, try to complete opthal. Listen to the classes well, come back and revise the notes, do the MCQs in that topic well, take a revision off, and then try to do the exam. And after the exam, you are free. If you want to do something, right, some extra topics, some weak areas you have, or else after you are done, you have some free time. You have already covered opthal before in your foundation days, or your, any resources before, and you feel you can manage this faster. You have some free time. After covering that, then only you go for your, your weak areas and other stuff, not at the cost of your existing subject. That will spoil the entire course of your preparation. So when you're coming and dedicating yourself, see that you complete the task at hand before you take on other weak areas and stuff. And because anyways, we are going to cover all the 19. So if you sync in, you still will be going along with us, and we will be able to finish on time before November. So if not, don't spoil the existing. I've seen that people follow their own tracks and try to cover up with that thing. That won't work. Try to sync in, and that is more smoother and easier for you and for us also to complete. And we know that you're on track with the preparation. The next thing, same thing with the test and discussion. This was done in May, just before. In November, you will be given your test and discussion schedule for the thing, and you will have this subject. And these are not classes. These are all basically you're writing a physiology test, then you're writing SPM test, faculty discussion will happen, then you have a grand test in between coming down. So it will be just for the test and discussion. It's not classes, because the exam was in June. This was June 18th we had the exam, so this was in May that we had the schedule done for test and discussion. Similar schedule will be there for you and for the November bar. Then you have fast track review. June 18th was the exam, so from June 3rd we started this fast track review, where the faculty comes down and tries to cover everything in a very rapid review fashion, where the entire topics, the high yield areas, in a very fast, because you already heard the notes, you've already worked on the concepts, you attended the classes, you have attended the test and discussion. Now you need somebody to just review those notes fastly, because you're in so much in anxiety, so much of pressure to complete it on your own. The faculties, we at Arise try to see that completely it is done from our side, that you don't have to carry any pressure, both in online and offline fashions. These classes are done so that you feel confident just close to the exam, so that we carry along. The thing is, we handhold and carry along through the entire journey, so you don't have to worry about what about MCQ discussion. We ourselves will make you do 100 questions during the classes, each subject 100 questions, during test and discussion another 100 questions, and again grand test. So if you see 19 questions, 19 subjects, 1900 questions anyways you're going to solve during your classes, another 1900 during your test and discussion, and again about 900 to 1000 questions during your grand test and stuff. So a lot of MCQ practice will happen, and I also suggest you to keep practicing MCQs frequently from different sources also. You need to have a understanding and application of the knowledge, so you should always keep trying and solving questions and adapting to that. So that is the whole thing with the test and discussion and the rapid revision part, and that's all part of a single program. That's all part of the regular classroom based program. These are our classrooms at Hyderabad that you have, like this is the students that we have. This was pre-COVID times, so our good days that time, and hopefully things will come back to normal as soon as possible. The energy levels are completely different, and you'll enjoy the process also. And these are classes in Kerala, right? So in Kannur also, the similar fashion, and very intense preparation was. Even during this time, we actually conducted classes also. Once the government regulations were relaxed, we actually conducted classes within both offline classes. We had to stop in between because of the second wave, but the classes went on probably for 2.5 months and stuff. We completed a lot of subjects in that time. Few subjects had to be shifted online, but the syllabus was done for both people, online as well as for offline people. These are the online classes that we have. Similar, you will have many of the classes conducted on Zoom itself, so that you are comfortable on your laptops and on your mobile phones, and some classes also are done on the Arise application also, and you'll be given the PDF, the images, so you can stay on track based upon how you are. So if you're feeling comfortable for online classes, you can join online. If you're feeling comfortable for offline, you can do that offline also. So there are you will have the MCQs provided and all the required things, the basic things that are required, all of them, image-based questions, okay, online exams, everything will be there. And these are the libraries. One of the important benefits that you'll have for offline classes is the use of reading rooms and libraries where students actually sit through, and these are 24/7. Okay, throughout the thing, there'll be an office staff available for you to have, and the access is completely 24/7 because different students have different timelines. So we kept it for 24/7. And these are the hostel facilities we provide. So basically, at Arise, it is not about auditorium. We don't believe in just calling you to the auditorium and sending you from the auditorium. It's an ecosystem that you come in. You come in right from your documentation part, your hall tickets, right? Your post-COVID, we used to take students to exam centers, to the entire process of filling applications, their printout of hall tickets, everything will be taken care. The whole staff will see that you are in a comfortable zone. Your hostels will be provided, your library will be provided 24/7. So it's completely ecosystem that you come and adapt to. And clinical practice for your juniors and third year, fourth year students who feel that there is some lacking of clinical information, that I would not, for exam going students. Post exam, you have internship, you will learn a lot there. I would not suggest this for your exam going students now. So these are our centers at Hyderabad and Kerala. We will be planning soon at other cities also. So you can note down these numbers if you're interested, especially for your December batches. So you can come down and interact with us. We'll be there personally to guide you through this process. So before we conclude, we'll discuss all your queries also, so that I can understand what all queries you have. So I'll be happy to take up your queries. So please let me know what all things you have so that I can respond it to you now. Any queries do you have from your side about the preparation strategy, subjects to do, anything from your side, you please let me know. FMG in December. Yes, FMG will be there in December. Okay, so because the NEET PG will be announced in September, around after August was the thing. So I think the NEET PG exam will happen in September. So I don't think a next exam can happen with Indian students and FMGs close to December. So that will be too close to do in September and December. So I guess you will have FMG for sure in December. Okay, and any other queries you have from your side? Handwritten notes is better. Having a handwritten notes will help you be active in the classes also. You can, if not, if you're comfortable with PDFs, please underline it, highlight it as the class is going on. So it depends on your comfort level. But don't be passive. Don't be passively listening on the bed and stuff. I would suggest, even if you're in the classroom, don't just carry previous notes and sit in the classroom. Always actively underline, star mark, right, or write down. If you're a fresh student, when you're in the time of concept building, write down with your own hands. If you are, attempting it for the second, third time, you're listening to the subject, you already have your handwritten notes, you already have your existing PDFs. You can also save time, but at the same time, you have to see that you're actively, marking out during the class and underlying it. And do you provide study material in printed notes? Yes, you in an offline sessions, we'll be providing it. In online, it will be mostly transferred in the Telegram groups and the WhatsApp groups. So the notes will be provided in the offline centers. You'll have printouts of the question papers, printouts of the class notes and stuff. Can those students join who will to give the exam on June 22? June 22, yes, you can join, but if you don't have your university schedule, that disturbs, because these are going to be intense classes. I don't want you to come and try to balance your university classes and this. If you're free, if you don't have any classes in the morning, because the classes will start around 10 o'clock and continue till 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock every day with a lunch break and some tea breaks in between. So if you feel your university can allow you, you can manage that, you should plan to do that, at least for a few subjects. Instead of having 6 months, you can join in for 1 or 2 months and see if you can pull off some subjects from and keep your preparation towards your main exam more easier. So what I would suggest is, if students are in vacations, if you are free, do come down for 1 or 2 months, adapt as much as possible, try to collect as many subjects as possible, and so that when you're coming for your main preparation, your stress is lesser. Now it is like so intense, right? If the pass percentage is 20%, so to be in that 20%, you have to be smart. You have to have pre-planned execution. You have to start early. The earlier you start, the more easier this is. Sir, if there is any lockdown, will offline classes get switched to online? Yes, like last time also, we had 2.5 months we went on with the offline classes, and then the lockdown was announced. So we had to complete the rest of the subjects in online. But still the hostels will be there, still the library will be there, with social distancing, with wearing of the mask, you can still sit in your places and study. But I expect the things to be much better, because we have already gone through the worst. I feel things are going to get better, but in case something like that happens, yes, we will conduct, but you will still be in the premises, you will still be in the atmosphere of your study. So I feel the chances are very, very less. But still, if that something happens like that, which is mostly unlikely, but hopefully if everything goes smooth, you will have full-fledged sessions till December, offline also and online also. Even online, the program will run simultaneously. But in case something really bad happens and we have to shut down because of the government regulations, we will have to shift it to online also.